Namaskaram girls. In the previous class, we learned what is pollution and the types of pollution. The first type we have seen, isn't it? Air pollution. What do you mean by pollution? In the introduction of the contaminants into the nature, environment, which brings an adverse effect on the nature is called pollution, isn't it? Air pollution, we have studied what is air pollution and the types of air pollution. Indoor air pollution, outdoor air pollution, and the causes of air pollution also we have studied. The smoke from the vehicles, exhaust, and also the burnings of other things. Those are the causes of air pollution. And we studied what are all the effects, particularly the health problem arises, isn't it? We studied and the remedial measures. What are the remedial measures should be taken to avoid air pollution we studied in the previous class. Today's class we are going to see water pollution. What do you mean by water pollution? In the introduction of a substance in the environment, in the marine environment, not only the marine, also the water bodies, marine environment, including the estuaries. What do you mean by this? The meeting point of the river to the tide. நதியினுடைய முகத்வாரம் கடலில் கலக்கக்கூடிய இடம் சொல்லுவோம்ல. If the river flows, it drains into the sea. The meeting point of the river and the sea, that is the tide and the river. Meeting point of the river and the tide is called estuaries. So these marine environment result in deleterious effect. This is nothing but harmful. Harmful. These are the new words in this bookmark. You should know the meaning for this word. It's a meeting point. நதியின் முகத்வாரம் சொல்லுவாங்க. The river which drains, the point where the river drains into the sea is called estuaries, and deleterious means harmful, which brings an adverse effect to the natural environment. So, to the living resources, the hazards to the human health, and also the hindrance of marine activities. So, the unwanted thing, the contaminated things which brings pollution in the all the water bodies which are harmful to the human being and also the marine things. That is water pollution. Now we are going to see the types of water pollution. What are the types of water pollution? Surface water pollution. Surface water pollution. This is nothing but the surface water include the natural water found in the earth surface like rivers, lakes, lagoons. Lagoons is nothing but the lakes. Tadaham, Kulam, that is lagoons and all the oceans. The hazard substance coming into the contact with this water to the river, lake and other things, oceans. So, when the contaminated substances mingled with these water bodies, sometimes it will be dissolving or mixing physically with the water called water pollution. So, the unwanted substances which come means these water bodies, either it will dissolve or it will mingle with. That time the water is called, the surface water is called, it is a polluted water, surface water pollution. The second one is groundwater pollution. Groundwater pollution. What do you mean by groundwater? Like man-made product, just like gasoline and oil, chemicals get into the groundwater sometimes, isn't it? While we are digging the wells and other things, while we are making bore wells and other things, sometimes the chemical substances will mixed with the water in the ground. So that is called groundwater pollution. In addition to that, untreated waste, sewage waters and also the septic tank waters which flows in the underground, sometimes it will mingle with the groundwater. So that times the water get polluted, and leakages in the underground storage waters, and also the chemicals, toxic chemicals from the underground storage tanks will bring the groundwater pollution. And the third one is microbiological pollution. Microbiological pollution. In many countries, people drink untreated water. What do you mean by untreated water? Usually in those days, we used to drink those type of waters only, isn't it? People go to the well, they fetch water, or else people go to the pond, they will fetch water. We used to drink those waters. Those waters are water is called untreated water. That is not purified. Untreated means not purified. So, most of the people in the world, we used to drink the not purified water which we are getting directly from the lakes or rivers. If you go for a trip, you are going for a river area, even if you go for a waterfalls, while you are taking bath, we used to drink some water, isn't it? Those waters are not purified. We are drinking as it is, how it is comes. So those waters are called untreated water. Sometimes those waters will be polluted by the microorganisms. These things you have studied in science, isn't it, girls? So those polluted waters may be those waters, natural waters may be untreated water may be polluted by the microorganisms like virus and the bacteria. This natural pollution causes both aquatic and the human illness. If the microorganisms mixed in the water, mingled in the water, those water get polluted. The people, those who are drinking those waters, and the animals which are living in this polluted water get ill health. And the last one, oxygen depletion pollution. Depletion means decreasing, diminishing. Decreasing is called depletion. So, when the oxygen, we already know H2O means we have oxygen in the water, isn't it? The symbol of water is we used to say H2O in chemical term. This O refers to oxygen. When the oxygen level in the water decreases, diminish, relatively harmless aerobic microorganisms die and anaerobic microorganisms begin to thrive. So, if there is a level of oxygen decrease in the water, the organisms which are good for health will die. And the organisms which are bad for health or harmful for health started to exist or thrive. So that water is polluted because of the less amount of oxygen. The water get polluted. Those type of pollution is called oxygen depletion pollution. Then we are going to see the causes of water pollution. What are all the causes of water pollution? Causes for water pollution. We already know, isn't it? The waste water. Discharge of waste water. even from the home, factories and other things which mingled in the water bodies brings water pollution, isn't it? Sewage, garbage and liquid waste of household, agricultural runoff and effluents from factories are discharging. Already I told, isn't it? Even from the household we are discharging some unwanted waste, water. And also from the factories, the dyeing factories and other things, they are flow much amount of waste water in the water bodies. Those waters which are mingled in the lakes and rivers, which contains the harmful chemicals. The waters which are coming out, let out by the factories are harmful, mingled with harmful chemicals, isn't it? Those waters contains harmful chemicals because they comes out from the factories where they are using a high amount of chemicals. So those chemicals which let out by the factories mingled, discharging the water bodies, and it will make the water poisonous for the aquatic animals and also for the plants. This second one, dumping of solid waste. Dumping of solid waste. Even we can see in front of a school, they are the waste materials, the broken stones and also the weeds, and from the household, all the things just they are throwing into the water bodies, the solid waste, isn't it? We are seeing in front of our school a large amount of solid waste. We are watching, we are seeing. So those dumping of solid waste and litters in the water bodies causes huge problem. Third one, discharge of industrial waste. That we studied already, the same thing they have given as industry at the heading of industry. Discharge of industrial waste. Particularly the dyeing industries and other things, textile industries and other things, they are letting out the harmful water, chemical water into the water bodies. And also the lead, mercury, grease oil, petrochemicals, those are extremely harmful for the people and also for the marine. So the waste which is coming from the industrial, mostly the oil, grease and other things, they never mixed with the water, they always float in the water. We heard a news, isn't it girl, 2 years back, a ship which wrecked in the Bay of Bengal, the water tank, the oil tank get leaked and much amount of oil spill over the ocean. So the oil never mixed with the water, it always float. See, it is harmful to the aquatic animals. So while the industrial waste, while they are discharging the oil and the grease, it never mixed with the water, it float in the water always, and it is harmful to not only the human being and also the aquatic things. And the oil spill, already I told, the oil, while the tankers, while the ship, if they were wrecked and the oil spilled, the seawater gets polluted due to the oil spilled from the ships and tankers while traveling, isn't it? While the ship is carrying the petroleum products or the oil product, if it gets leakage or if it is rigged, couple leakage, what would happen? The oil will mingle in the sea water. It never mixed, it always float in the sea water. It is harmful for the aquatic animals. And also acid rain. It is the pollution, acid rain is the pollution of water caused and by air pollution, isn't it? We studied the acid rain in air pollution. So because of the pollution of water, only the air by the air pollution. Because of the air pollution, the air gets go to the clouds and the clouds becomes harmful, then it brings the acid rain. So the acid rain acid rain is the pollution of water caused by air. So when the acidic particles caused by an air pollution in the atmosphere and mixed with the clouds and makes water vapor and falls down as an acid rain. It's not good for the human being. And global warming, already we have studied in the air pollution, and also we studied eutrophication, that is an increased level of nutrients in water bodies. So this result in the bloom of algae in water. This already I have told, isn't it girls? So when the nutrients in the water bodies increased, the algae, you have seen வெங்காய தாமரைன்னு சொல்லுவோம்ல, the algae will grow more. இந்த காற்று இப்படி பறந்து கிரவுண்டு ஃபுல்லாக வாட்டர் குளத்தில் ஆற்றுல ஃபுல்லாக மிதக்கும், வெங்காய தாமரைன்னு சொல்லுவோம் அதுக்கு பேர் algae. So those algae will increase. So the increase in the algae bring decrease in the oxygen depletion. So it consumes all the oxygen. So the water contains the oxygen contained in the water will be depleted. So this also bring a water pollution. And then we are going to see the effects of water pollution and the remedial measures in the next video.